They say the clothes make the man. They also say dress shabbily and they remember the dress, dress impeccably and they remember the woman. But what do they say about people who talk about costumes? Do they say anything at all? Welcome to a special episode of Contending at the Water Cooler. I believe we will have plenty to say. I am your host, Joey Moser. I am joined by Megan McLaughlin and a very special guest, Fawnia Soo Hoo. Hi, Fawnia.
Hi, Joey. Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Oh. Hi.
Sorry, automatically was like, hey, Fawnia, not Megan.
I'm so glad to have her back.
I know.
We got such good feedback from that podcast too. Like, especially from my mom. She was like, I learned so much.
Oh, that makes me so happy. I'm so happy to be back here with you both and to talk about TV and costumes. Favorite subjects of mine. Yeah. And
you're like an expert. All of your articles that you write about like all the costumes, like I love reading them. I love reading your newsletter today too of how you and Cheryl are taking 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
Like all the rundown of things happening. I was catching up on that.
I put a couple costumes things in there too. Thank you for subscribing, by the way.
Of course.
Whatever, never mind on Substack.
Yes.
Anyway, sorry for the plug.
No, I love it.
We love plugs. This could be a whole podcast of plugs. It'd be fine. So, Fawnia joined us, I think, for the Oscar costumes conversation, right? And I actually realized that felt so long ago. That's like at least 5-6 months.
Wow.
So who better to have talk about costumes again? We have a lot of shows to talk about, so we thought we would have Fawnia back on. So thank you for joining us. So we're going to go through the 4 categories that have not been awarded yet. Contemporary costumes for a limited or anthology series or movie, contemporary costumes for a series, fantasy sci-fi costumes, and period costumes. We're going to talk about the contenders. I know Fawnia has talked to a bunch of people. I've talked to a couple of people, so I guess we just want to talk about clothes and what we like, and we're just have a nice loosey-goosey conversation about some frock talk, which I think is already a trademark podcast, so I probably shouldn't say it.
Trademarked, but
we don't need another lawsuit on her.
No, we don't. No, we do not. So I guess, Fawnia, not to put you on the spot, but I guess looking at this batch of nominees, like, do you like these nominees? Is there a lot here that you like? Tell me sort of like, guess your costumey reaction.
Wait, are we going by category or just like?
I'd just say in general.
I mean, I feel like with contemporary costumes and limited and series, there was a lot. Like it was pretty stacked, the contenders. Yeah. So I feel like, I'm like happy with everyone. There are other ones I wish the categories could be bigger, like have more people, because there were other, like there are always like some that I was like, I know it's like sort of like Black Horse, or it might not make it, but I sometimes I always wish they would make it on there, which actually was why I'm happy Adolescence was on there. I mean, the show the series was like it made such an impact. So it was like, I know more people watched it, and the costumes just really had so much to do with that. I was like, really just like the little details, like Stephen Graham, when he wears that pink shirt to the police station, like it says so much. I was like, it's just a pink t-shirt, but it like makes him stand out. He looks kind of uncomfortable, and it's also like this low-key like statement on toxic masculinity, like guys can stuff like that. Yeah. So I'm glad, like I in a way I would, so I love it when you're sort of less, I guess, like through overt, flashier, I guess, for lack of a better word, costumes, like, are recognized. Like, I love that. And then period. Well, yes, we were talking earlier off mic about how period was this year condensed into one category instead of 2. So, I mean, I just felt like there were like so many. There were some that I wish there were two categories this year's too, because there are a lot that I wish were on there, like Interview with the Vampire and Dark Winds, which I feel like really need a lot of attention, or more attention.
Dark Winds too. Yeah. My parents always yell at me about that show. And
do they watch Dark Winds?
Yeah, they love it. They're
obsessed really?
With Dark Winds. I know a lot of people. They're not obsessed with Interview with the Vampire, but I know a ton of people who are obsessed with that show too, and that's another show.
That's a great show. It's I'm actually really surprised it didn't get in, because it's so like costumey. Yeah. I mean, this for people, like, I don't want to say that that's not a negative connotation. It's just like, I think with like, I always think there should be a contemporary costumes category at the Oscars, but I mean, it's sort of like it's, corsets and big skirts and gorgeous suits and things like that. But it's all, it's not flash for the sake of flash. There's a lot of character development in the costume design.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you want to like break down some of these categories?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Does anybody have a preference of where we start?
No.
Okay.
You pick.
Let's do, since we were let's talk about period. So the nominees for period costumes are American Primeval by Virginia B. Johnson, Bridgerton by John Walter Glazer, Monsters, the Lyle and Eric Menendez Story by Paula Bradley, 1923 by Janie Bryant, and Wolf Hall, The Mirror and the Light by Joanna Eatwell.
Wait, Janie Bryant, which one did she do?
1923.
Is she the one who did Mad Men? I feel like
yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is her this is her 5th nomination. The other 4 nominations that she got were from Mad Men. I think it's kind of crazy. So did Mad Men never get a costuming Emmy? Is that true?
I know.
That's
insane.
That's a crime.
Yeah. That's really wow. That's
yeah, because that is
that possible. I'm going on my phone right now. Checking this.
Yeah, that is, and now I'm curious who the other nominees were those years. And also I feel like the costumes are kind of what people like in a way helped make the show. They were integral to making the show so like iconic. And
wow.
I mean, didn't that start like I remember when that show came out, I mean, at least Megan was just like, I'm wearing my, God, I'm forgetting her name, Elizabeth Moss inspired blah blah blah.
I did have that. Yes, I had that one pussy shirt, or what's it called, pussy bow or whatever.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah.
I'm on there.
My mom was supposed to fix it, and she never did. She never sewed it because I wanted short sleeves, and she never did.
Maybe you can find it in the store now.
It's probably somewhere in a stack of clothes. I could dig it out.
I'm on their Wikipedia page right now. Mad Men never won costumes.
That's so insane. Thinking about all the iconic, like it changed costume. I mean, I feel like it changed, it affected pop culture in a way. Like people started dressing like Don Draper.
Yeah. And
it kind of had an impact that way. So that's really shocking.
Yeah. And Christina.
Hendricks,
alone should have gotten multiple Emmys for how those costumes hugged Christina Hendricks figures.
I agree.
She's so sexy on that show. It's ridiculous.
I'm sure Janie did like complete like period authentic down to like the undergarments and everything.
Oh,
positive.
Yeah.
I'm sure. Now I'm curious about 2009 costume Emmys. Okay, continue. I'm looking.
But I think because Janie, she does like, I want to say at least 2, if not more, of the Taylor Sheridan shows now too. So,
wow.
But yeah, so 1923. But yeah, her work is always impeccable, and she has such an eye for detail.
Ooh, Pushing Daisies was also up that year. Oh wait, yes, that's crazy. Yeah, Pushing Daisies.
Trying to see. Sorry, I'm on. She let's see. I'm just looking at her IMDb page, looking at the other stuff that she's done. Like she did the costumes for It. She did.
Yeah.
Wow.
She did one of the Bad Boys, which I appreciate. I think the most recent one. Yeah.
She did Why Women Kill. I love Why Women Kill. Yeah, underrated
Janie is prolific for sure. And
So we were talking kind of about how period, like the rules for period, like I'll just read what I read to you guys before we started recording. Because we were sort of agreeing that we think there should be more than one period, or there needs to be uh, two separate that maybe encompasses like one period is really early, maybe one's a little bit more recent that maybe would include something like monsters, because if you look at like American Primeval, Bridgerton, 1923, and Wolf Hall, and then like monsters, this feels kind of like an apple in a bag of oranges.
1989, yeah. Like everything else
seriously.
Like 1923, 1500.
The rules state for a single episode of a comedy or drama series, limited or anthology series, or a movie whose costumes are based in a period of time more than 25 years prior to January 1st of the current awards eligibility year, any entry with at least 51% of all costumes being period accurate, i.e. garments that existed in an actual historic era, will be considered period entry.
Yeah.
God, I would hate to be the person who has to like go through with a calendar and maybe it's in there when they submit it. It's like, this is from this period to this period.
And also determine that 51%, which is like, what?
I know.
Also, okay, so I looked at that. Okay, because in previous years, there have been two period for series and unlimited. So from them condensing it this year, that means there weren't enough entries, but that doesn't seem right based on the list you sent me. And also like just the number of shows I can list in my head. And then also with the wait, no, I forgot what I was going to say about the dates, about the most recent entries. But yeah, so is it because maybe some of those actually ended up not being eligible because of one of those rules, that there weren't enough, so they had to condense because I'm not sure.
Yeah, because like
why?
Looking in like just on the Wikipedia page, sometimes it just has, maybe there's not enough because last year there were two period costumes for a limited or anthology series of movie were feud Capote versus the Swan one, and also Shogun won for period costumes for a series. But the year before, The Great and Daisy Jones and the Six, but then 2022 was only The Great, 2021 Queen's Gambit, 2020 The Crown. Yes. Mrs. Maisel, The Crown.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's also like if there's no The Gilded Age or The Crown, like there can only be one category or something like that. Yeah,
and maybe there's something in the rules about enough submissions. Maybe that's it.
Maybe, or maybe the number of votes because people didn't watch a lot of these other shows, like again, Interview with the Vampire or Dark Winds, or like Lady in the Lake was gorgeous. Say Nothing.
Oh my God, that's my big one. The texture on all those costumes.
Yeah.
Say Nothing. That's a good point too. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I want to pour one out for Duster, which was egregiously canceled, but those 70s costumes.
That was your show, yes.
Love that show. But I actually, on the list you sent today, Ghosts is on there too, because they picked one that was like set in the past, which I would have loved to see that on there.
I love that episode. I'm a big ghost head. Yeah.
That show needs to be recognized too, because they probably get like, I don't know. I bet those rules kind of mess it all up sometimes. Where they just Anyway, so we should probably talk about those shows that we're not.
Yeah, I mean, like on the ballot for outstanding period costumes, there's only 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There's under 30 shows in there, so it has to be. I could be wrong, but it seems like there's, like Dexter Original Sin is on here. How did Lady in the Lake not get in here? Jesus. Pachinko.
Yeah.
Yellow Jacket was on there. Because I actually, like, when I saw this list at first, I was like, I forgot. I didn't even realize there was another Wolf Hall.
Me too. I think of it as like the first season, which
I was like, wasn't Claire Foy on that?
Like, I didn't know either, and that surprised me. And I was like, which made me think that there were maybe just like too few votes for like a lot of show. I don't know. It was just I was very confused by this. But I was happy to see Bridgerton on there, John Glazer, because I do love, just personally, I love Nicola Nicola,
Love
do I
it
say the
too.
last name right? Coughlin?
I think it's
I
Coughlin.
think so.
Coughlin.
Yeah.
I loved her. She finally got the season, and I thought her costumes really like brought her through to like, oh, made her like the leading main character in
Mm.
that season. And yeah. So
If you look at pictures of her from like season one, and then you look at pictures of her now, it's sort of like, oh, there's some maturity there.
yeah,
There's
I
some
remember
character development.
I interviewed her and then John for the season, and she was like, she was basically, I mean, I'm not quoting her directly, but she was basically like, I paid my dues and like those like acid yellow and like that,
Oh yeah.
like the little curls and the hair was like bright red. She's like, I paid my dues. It was like, she's like, I was really happy to like be able to do this. But so yeah, it really did show her like coming into her own and like taking charge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me see. So Virginia B. Johnson and John Walter Glazer, this is their first nomination. Joanna Eatwell, this is her third. Jenny Bryant, her fifth. Paula Bradley for Monsters, this is her second nomination after American Horror Story Apocalypse. So, is there anything in this category that really sticks out to you as maybe a winner? If there's any, like Fawnia, you were mentioning Nicola Coughlin's costumes as a highlight for you. Is there anything else that you either really like, want to highlight? Anything you think is a front runner here?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think Janie, you know, just she deserves recognition and her work is amazing. I feel like with American Primeval, I admit I've only seen a couple episodes, but I feel like a lot has to be people. I feel like most people don't understand how much work goes into just making something look really old and dirty.
Yeah.
So I feel like that show really, aside from like, you know, Betty's like beautiful like gowns and stuff, like, you know, like all of that takes so much work and like planning and strategy. So, you know, that'd be interesting. I don't know, just from like a strategic like guest point of view, I'm really not sure like
Mhm.
who like I mean Ryan Murphy shows always like, you know, like Lou Eyrick is who
Oh,
she's the
yeah.
producer on there, like she's won like how many, I actually wrote it down here. Anyway, I can find it later. Um Bridgerton's like very popular and it's, you know, a period show that like, yeah, I feel like American Primeval and Wolf Hall just not like talked about as much. So or like, I don't know if people had seen it. So yeah, I don't, this one is, yeah, I can't, I guess if I was gonna make a guess, I'd say 1923, but that's only just me just like taking all the factors into the variables into
Sure.
consideration, making a guess. Um, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I'm wondering if it's Menendez brothers.
Yeah, that would be my
Apples and
yeah.
the what did you say? And the orange, the apples and the
Apple
orange.
on a bag of
True
oranges.
too. That's a
Yeah.
good
Yeah,
point.
and
Yeah.
because last year, like looking at Feud, Capote, I mean, even though I know they were like separated, and
Yeah.
Shogun, those were shows that had like limited. They were drama series winners, and Capote was nominated for limited series, right? I think it was. Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like if it
Wait.
has like,
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
think it was.
No, actually, I think
okay.
that's part of that that one. It's part of one of his anthology franchises. American, but yeah.
But I wonder
Okay.
if like because it
Feud.
has more
Sorry.
like more people have seen it too. Like I feel like that would like maybe
Yeah.
Yeah.
like a lot of these they
Yeah,
might
yeah.
not see.
It's
So
the only
like
one here that has a series nomination.
yeah, that's what I was wondering about. Like because at first I was like, oh, I feel like it might be like Wolf Hall or something like that. But then I'm like, oh,
Hmm.
wait a minute. That it
Actually,
might
yeah.
actually be with them and their spandex and like, you know,
It's
I
a
just
lot of
picture
like, yeah, it's a lot of like ritzy tennis gear.
and like bum
Um,
wasn't like bum equipment stuff, like bum equipment shirts, which I was like,
Yeah.
they're bum
There's
Yeah.
a lot of nostalgia in the
mhm.
Yes,
show for
yeah.
sure. Which yeah, but actually I agree with you now because it is like a critically acclaimed and like highly watched show. Whereas like 1923, the Emmys just doesn't like Taylor Sheridan. Like,
They
so,
don't. And, I mean, I could be completely wrong too. This is like my shot in the dark. Like, because at first, like I said, I was like, oh, it's going to be Bridgerton or American Primeval. And then I'm like, wait a minute. And I started thinking about it. Like,
like, you think of like if someone's looking at the ballot and they think of, oh, period costumes, that would be more of what people would consider to be period, like corsets and all that jazz. But I mean, I don't know. There's an I don't know. There's something the submitted episode for Monsters. I don't know exactly how much people pay attention to this. Is the first episode. Blame It on the Rain. So there's one like pullover sweater that I really love. That when I spoke to Paula Bradley, I was like, I want that sweater. It's Eric Menendez wears it, and I think it's white, but it has a very bright red zipper that goes all the way up to here, and it just reminded me of like a droplet of blood.
Oh my god!
It's foreshadowing.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's maybe they'll go for that. Maybe they'll get. I mean, I don't think American Primeval. It feels like a lot of it is. I haven't watched that show. When I started, like, going through some of the scenes, I was like, oh, this kind of looks a little bit shot in the same ways like The Revenant. There's a lot of distressing. There's a lot of feels like colors drained out of it. I'm sure there's mud everywhere. But I would probably say Monsters with a 1923 to spoil.
Yeah.
I'm
happy with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm happy with that too. I like how my notes were completely different coming into this, and then talking to you guys have completely changed my mind about things.
We're here to influence you.
So it's a brainstorm, because sometimes, because there are all these,
It's a discussion, not a test. All right, let's hop. So there are two contemporary categories. Let's do those last, because I know Fawnia, you've contemporary is really you've done a lot with that. So let's go to fantasy sci-fi, where I feel very out of the loop. So the nominees
too, but go ahead.
The nominees are Agatha All Along by Daniel Salon, Andor by Michael Wilkinson, Black Mirror, Matthew Price, I cannot read my handwriting, Dune Prophecy, Bajana Nikitovic, and House of the Dragon by Caroline McCall.
Last year, the one that won was Star Wars Ahsoka, which I didn't know was a show until I looked.
Oh, that's the Rosario one, right? See, fantasy.
I couldn't remember. I was like, there's so many Star Wars. Like, it beat Fallout, which I thought the costumes on that show were incredible.
That one I did watch.
Like her jumpsuit became so iconic, like that blue jumpsuit.
And just how everything looked like it was set. Everything else was like set from the 50s, so you knew when. I love that detail. Okay.
Let's see. So.
I've
only seen 2.5 of these shows. Agatha All Along and I'm a liar. I've watched some of Dune. Dune as a property, not just the show. Dune kind of exhausts me. It just feels, I don't like it when shows feel like everything that they're saying is only to do with the plot. If that makes sense. I will say, I spoke to this costume designer and I watched her submitted episode. There's some gorgeous imprinting. She told me they did a lot of manual laser printing to create texture on a lot of the costumes. There's this gorgeous red wedding dress with like a gold beaded red veil, when they're trying to secure a bloodline, so it's an adult woman marrying a 9-year-old. Creepy as fuck.
I need to watch this show now.
It's so I think that is the centerpiece of the nomination.
Just tell me anything that should be on Maury, and if it's on these shows, I'm gonna watch it.
Well, spoiler alert, the 9-year-old is poisoned and he dies by the end of the first episode.
No.
That sounds very also Game of Thrones. I don't know. Which is not,
Yes.
which is what this isn't my, just on a personal level, my, favorite genre. Also, it's a lot to keep up with. Like you said, this the Star Wars, the Marvel thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do feel like, and again, like I haven't watched these shows like to completion, if even barely. But like sometimes, like the Marvel, like Agatha Arlong, and like a lot of the Marvel shows, and like Andor, they're sort of like fantasy as like a, what do you call it? Like a vessel to tell you something like another story. So they also encompass like so many different like costumes and stories within that require like very different costumes. Like Agatha All Along was like every episode was like a sort of different genre that they're like not spoofing, but like taking on.
Yeah.
So like Daniel Salon, like he did a lot. And then Michael Wilkinson, he's amazing. Like he did a lot of DC stuff. Yeah, and he's just so chic. Like he did American Hustle, and he did this installation.
American Hustle. Oh,
yeah, like he's so
chic. That is so good. Oh, costume.
And then I guess Andor has this like fashion planet, and then Diego Luna always looks amazing in his whatever he wears. So it's like they really like flex their designing muscles and just covering all these different genres in like one show. So I mean, fantasy is very, I feel like, challenging and intricate and creative, and you can mix all these different inspirations into like one thing. Yeah, which I appreciate. I feel like they all did that, like Dune too. And
I was actually surprised. Daniel Salon, he won for WandaVision.
Yeah.
And I had thought I felt bad telling everyone this, but I talked to a bunch of people from Agatha All Along, and I basically straight up every single time was just like, I like stuff, but I like your show. Which is probably bad, but I thought he would have picked. There's like a night, Megan, you haven't watched it, but there's like a 1970s like rock concert episode that the nominated song is used in like a different cover, and everyone's dressed in like a different 70s outfit. It's gorgeous. I thought they would have submitted that episode, but they submitted, I think, episode I think it's 8 out of 9, where it's like it's all of the like superhero-y outfits. So I don't know.
That is surprising, because especially for Marvel, they usually like all that's designed. Well, the concept art is not designed, but it's like drawn by, and then the costume designer takes it, and then they have to make it. They have to bring it to life, and I feel like usually they're like they never want to talk about those costumes. They want to talk about everything else. So that surprises me. I
think the to me, the centerpiece of that episode is Aubrey Plaza's outfit. I talked to Daniel twice because I talked to him before I saw the whole season, and I sort of demanded almost. I was like, I need to talk to you again because I love the work on the show. And there's an outfit when you realize that her character is Lady Death, and there's a shot in the episode that I'm super obsessed with when it's the big battle scene at night in somebody's like backyard, and the wind catches Aubrey Plaza's hood, and the way that the wind catches it looks like almost like a snake skin hood thing. I'm obsessed with. I'll find a GIF. I'll send it. But I'm obsessed with that. But that's a really good point. That like a lot of this stuff, like I didn't know there was a fashion show or fashion planet on Andor. Like there's a lot of versatility, I will say, from what I'm understanding, because I don't watch all these shows. So
just like you're like building worlds, but it's like multiple worlds, and you have to differentiate everybody, like on all of these shows, pretty much. Yeah, and it's like you're not really pulling from something that already exists. You're imagining it. So yeah, it's
because it's like so hard as costume designers will like, you know, they create these characters with the clothes, but now they're creating worlds and like cultures with the clothes.
Yeah.
So that's really wild to think about, and how like like just what a task for that.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like huge, Disney budgets and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But yeah, no, I mean, yeah, just the scope of all of it. It is
Yeah.
really impressive.
I had written down Andor
Andor.
as my pick, but I'm wondering now if like Agatha all along, the way you both were describing it, that like how it's like each episode is different, and WandaVision having the
I actually wonder if you might like it, because like they're on the road to, basically get like the best powers, a wish for each single person in this coven, and every time they enter a different task, all their outfits change, and the task is themed basically for someone. So like there's like the first one, I called it a Nancy Meyer's wet dream. So it's the beiges and whites and turtlenecks, and then like there's a slasher episode. There's it's a lot of fun. I don't know. I feel like if you were not a Marvel person like I am, that this is a really accessible show.
Yeah.
There's not a lot on this ballot either. Surprised, like What We Do in the Shadows has been on here before. It's one. Maybe they
that wasn't on there.
Yeah, they submitted 2 episodes, which maybe that's it. Maybe it's split. No Star Trek, no Silo. I'm a little surprised that Grotesquerie is on this ballot, because the majority of Grotesquerie is contemporary. I don't know. So Megan, you think maybe Agatha or Andor?
That's what I was thinking. And I only went with Andor because Star Wars. Andor. Because Star Wars won last year, and I was just like, we like Star Wars.
Anytime someone says Star Wars, I think of Lucille Bluth. Like,
I always feel like, go see a Star Wars.
Go see a Star Wars.
Go see a Star Wars. I think that too. But I don't know, Agatha all along, there are those like committed fans to the show too, and it didn't like perform as well as we thought it would, right?
I thought it was gonna get more.
Yeah, so maybe this is a way to like reward it. And I think also a lot of people probably watched it. Like, I guess it's also a good way to think about, like, who's watched this, like, of all these shows.
Yeah,
that's probably the one that most people watched, maybe.
Or Andor.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
It caught on.
Yeah.
It's like Onder Holmvik on Workaholics, Onder Holm. They always call him Ander on the show. It's
oh my god!
With a hard on.
Oh, I actually didn't know that.
Yeah,
I've been totally pronouncing his name wrong this entire time.
Yeah, Fawnia, what are you gonna predict here?
I know I'm down to those two just because I feel like they're the most watched. And I'm gonna give Andor. Andor. That's the way you pronounce it, right?
That's the way I
just
like
it anymore. I don't know.
I would give that one a slight edge because of I feel like it has all these prestige elements to the show. Like,
I was thinking that too.
Yeah, like it's Star Trek, like Diego Luna and Stellan's in it too, right? Like beloved, and Michael Wilkinson did get Oscar nominated, and I mean a lot of people watched it. There's like couture fashion in it,
yeah,
along with like outer space stuff, and then also your classic Star Wars like stormtrooper things. Right. So I'm feeling Andor.
That's a good pick. So it's camp versus couture, basically. Is that what we're thinking? It's like
maybe
Agatha all along is camp, and couture is
couture.
Andor. Now I'm saying
Andor. That's what we're going to change.
Andor, the British way.
I would love to see Michael Wilkinson win. Um, I'm predicting Agatha all along, but um, I was really mad. This is such a random niche reference, not reference, but film to pick. I was obsessed with the costumes for Jingle Jangle, A Christmas Journey.
Oh, those are really good.
Those are
Those are
so gorgeous.
good. Yeah.
And it got shortlisted in a bunch of categories, including like makeup and song and or what score and stuff, and it got nothing. And it's just I don't know the shimmery texture of that movie. Megan, I will never forget that eye roll. Thank you. Um, I would love to see him
being like jingle jangle, jingle
Jingle Jangle is so good. I interviewed like so many people from that show, and like Megan and Clarence were like, "All right, Joey, Jingle Jangle." Oh. So yeah,
I need to watch that again. God, I haven't
just watch the
I did see it when it was out. Yeah.
Yeah, Keegan Michael Key has a really good song where he's like a toy maker, and I was just like, "You remind me of the Wizard of Oz because you're a fake," and blah blah blah. And Michael Wilkinson was like, "Uh huh." So I may have scared Michael Wilkinson a bit. Okay, so do we want to pick contemporary costumes for limited or anthology series or movie first, or for a series?
Both of those I love. I can do either.
Yeah. Let's do the series. Or no, limited series.
Okay.
Limited. Okay.
Yeah.
So the nominees here are Adolescence by Jessica Schofield, American Horror Stories, Sarah O'Donnell, Dying for Sex, Melissa Toth, The Penguin, Helen Huang, and Sirens, Caroline Duncan. Helen Huang is the only winner here. I love her work.
Beef.
In general.
Yeah.
Those glasses.
So good.
I almost brought them in here. I was so obsessed with Ali Wong's. Yeah, you did. I was so obsessed with Ali Wong's glasses because the shape of them look like stop signs. And
good catch.
And that was an accident because when I very excitedly asked her about it, she was like, "Nope, that wasn't on purpose."
That's good. I love it when it's like we kind of read into the Easter egg, but then it's like, and they're like, "Oh no, that was happy accident."
Yeah.
So I was like, "Take it. Just tell people they were stop signs."
Yeah, exactly. No, because that would make so much sense. Mm-hmm.
Last year, a American Horror Story Delicate won in this category. By the way, I just wanted to remind.
So random. Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
Like, yeah, because that's the other Emmy that Helen has. It's for one of the Ryan Murphy shows too. Yeah,
for Apocalypse, I think. Yeah. No, Hotel.
Yeah,
I think this category is interesting because first of all, Dying for Sex is the one that I probably am most familiar with, and I was thinking, like the episode they chose is the one where she goes to like a sex party or whatever, and like they're all dressed up in different things. But then I was also thinking about like iconic things like her cane because something important. But I and then I also was listening to an interview with the Adolescence costumer, and she was saying how
you did.
I was just listening to it.
Oh.
Yeah. No, I didn't interview anyone. You're a costume man. I don't.
No, I would have been fine. I didn't get a. I didn't get a.
To you. No, I was just listening to before.
That wasn't accusatory.
Just they cheating on you?
I was like, how dare you take that? No, I was just listening to an interview, and she was saying how she really just wanted like to make these people seem real, and like this idea of, the clothes, like these people, which I thought was interesting because that is in hearing you guys talk about because I did not finish Adolescence. It was very hard for me to watch that first episode. But I do like that there's kind of like some contemporary realism and how, and I also keep thinking about how like costumes they're so important because they do build characters and like even like Nikki in Dying for Sex is always in sweatpants, and she even like I think Jenny Slate's made comments about it that like I just got to wear sweatpants all the time, and it's because she's like taking care of her friend and she's not taking care of herself, and like or just kind of like trying to be comfort, like wear comfort. So I just like I liked that there was some more like interesting choices here.
Yeah, me too. Like I like there is like a mix in here because
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the penguin is a more I don't know, like sort of stylized and has a lot of like cinematic like it is because it
Yeah.
is like a I mean yeah it's based on a Batman character and stuff but it's still real too and then Sirens has its own like sort of it has that Fellini-esque like I don't know like fantastical element about it too like with the Lily Pulitzer and everything but then yeah like Dying for Sex and Adolescence are just so very real and like
Yeah.
they're clothes that people wear that you see all the time but they're telling you so much but like in this
Yeah.
like really strategic subliminal way but yeah I talked to Melissa Toth for a story for the Hollywood Reporter where it was about like I talked to four of the contemporary nominees about like dressing best friends and like the different and what it was like
Mm.
telling you about them and their relationship. But like I remember Melissa was saying like it was so important to her and Michelle Williams to just be like so real. Like it has to be these two like 40-year-old women in New York City like going through this like really traumatic experience together. How would they dress? Like what would like you said, yeah, Jenny Slate would just wear sweatpants because she's like all of a sudden she's like a caretaker. And
Yeah.
then and like they borrow each other's thing or it's more oh my God, now I forget Melissa's name or Michelle's name.
Oh,
Yeah,
Molly.
like
Molly.
Molly borrows like Nikki's clothes at first because she's um she like took off in the car with Nikki and left all
Yeah.
her clothes with like Duplass and then
Hmm.
so and then she doesn't pick it up till later so yeah I just love how it's like so subtle and then like all those like cozy sweaters and everything like just felt so comforting when they're like
Yeah.
going through such a yeah like just a really like devastating life experience together.
Right.
But yeah, it like connects them. I love that. Um,
Yeah. Me
yeah.
too.
Yeah, I realized that for some reason the Adolescence nomination surprised me at first, and then I looked at they submitted episode 2. So that's the episode where they're at the school. So when I went back and I watched, was just looking at the costumes and stuff, it was like, oh, think about how the style of one kid is going to differ from the style of another kid. And then you think of the kids who wear like, they don't wear the jacket, but they wear the tie really loose. And then there's a moment later where you see a very overwhelmed, beleaguered, um, the principal, I think. And the principal is like his shirt looks a little wrinkly and his tie looks a little loose too. And I thought that was maybe an
Yeah.
accidental, purposeful parallel there. I
Oh,
don't know, but and then like the cops that come in are mostly in darker clothes, and they may stick out from the other people, so from like the students and stuff. So there's a lot I think in that episode that deals with like circumstance and home life and attitude, and that's something that I was really appreciative when I went back and I kind of watched it because it's not styling necessarily, but it's sort of like how the characters wear the clothes
oh, for
and like
sure.
what they're going through that day. Um, I love Sirens so much.
Yeah. Sirens is a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah, and like just I think it's the first episode that they have submitted, which
Yeah.
really like establishes this really kind of cultish Easter egg
Yeah.
world there. The difference between the sisters, Julianne Moore, I think I can't remember what I spoke to Caroline Duncan. I think you did too, Vanya.
Yeah.
Um, where she was saying that like she always wanted her and like she's a deity. Julianne Moore's a deity, and I'm like yes, I understand this because I also love Julianne Moore. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a
Because
lot
like
of really good stuff here. Yeah.
yeah. No, Sirens is like so much fun because she does you in that first episode you do feel like she could be a cult leader because everything's so flowy and she's the only one in white.
Mm-hmm.
No one else can wear white. But then I actually didn't even realize this till I talked to her Caroline for the best friends one too, but like Simone Millie Alcock, she's
Mm-hmm.
the only one that can wear a combination of white. Like everyone else
Mm.
has only colors on, so she's like kind of the chosen one. Like little things like that. Yeah, I thought that was a lot of fun. And it was kind of a fantasy show in a way that she built this. her, like Michaela's estate world of like the Easter egg. Like, why does everyone look like an Easter egg? You know, because you could like place
Yeah.
everyone. And then yeah, Megan stands out so much in her black. Um, but like what you were saying about adolescence and that school one, yeah, like one of my favorite things is like watching how costume designers differentiate and add personality to kids with costume with not costumes, uniforms on, like
Mm.
Dairy Girls or something, you know, like
Oh yeah.
kids will always find a way to make themselves look individual, right? So like yeah, how the like you said, how the collar is, how the tie is. But yeah, so in adolescence, yeah, I feel like that told you a lot. And then also with the detective, well, or the DI, I think that's what it's called, what he's called,
Hmm.
where he's like, so he was cool and everyone thinks he's cool, but then his son is like being bullied. Like he, like, it was super subtle, but I feel like his shirt and like the way it was cut, like you could tell he was like, oh, he was cool, like, like in high school. And
Yeah.
there's like a way that he commands respect that his son feels like he is different from, but he, you know, like that kind of like divides him from his dad. And then, but then they come together and then, but yeah, I like, anyway, thought it was good. So I'm glad it was, you know, because they don't always, I feel like the Emmys doesn't always recognize the sort of quieter
Yeah.
costume,
Yeah.
I
I
think.
mean, the sort of like the joke I kept saying with Ashley Walters, the DI that you were mentioning, with his son. Those, first of all, the scene between the two of them when he pulls his son into the room. That's one of the best scenes in the whole show. As a parent who's just trying to understand, but also like I have to say, the interrogation scene, Ashley Walters is a very good looking man, and I have to say that his gigantic arms were very distracting in the interrogation scene. I was like, yeah, did you
The
kill that
shirt's
girl? But
good.
can you flex for me? That would be great. Yeah. So
He
thank you
did
to
have
the
a
costume
cute
designer for
little
cutting the
bubble.
shirts right here.
I mean, I'm sure that she did. Someone needs to interview her and ask her about that because a
Yeah.
lot of times that's what they do, or like the scoop of like a tank top or something. Yeah,
Sure.
you know,
Mm.
custom. I don't know.
I don't sort of know where this is gonna go in terms of predictions wise.
See, I think
Uh,
it's the penguin.
you do?
Yeah. Because I think I was thinking about all the characters in this and how probably it might be one of those cases of like makeup goes hand in hand with this. Like I'm assuming it
Mm,
was from and like how, looking at Kristen Milioti and like I've only seen like one episode, but just like you get so much from just a look from her and like her entire ensemble. And I was thinking about how once again, kind of world building, this world that's like kind of Batman, but kind of also mobster, and like that hybridness of it is
hmm.
probably something that was a challenge to not go too like far, but also like you kind of have to find a weird happy middle to it. So I feel like it's the penguin. That's what I think. With AHS as a spoiler, I think which one is it?
Oh
It
yeah,
clearly does well in the costumes category.
Yeah.
yeah.
Um,
I'm
there is an outfit that I haven't watched any of the Penguin, but there's an outfit because I was just looking up images and like scrolling through the episode. She has like a very striking like red
yeah.
outfit. It's sort of like she kind of looks like a very slender like Belle almost. Like her stockings are red. It's sort of like it's like a really good example of like what are the costumes doing. I kind of want to watch the show just for the
Right.
aesthetic of it. So that's probably a really good call for the
Yeah.
Penguin.
Her like
Thanks.
Sophia's arc is really because she starts out, she's like, well, actually, if you watch it, I don't want to spoil it for you, but she goes through like a real arc that and
Mm,
kind of like a very traumatic incident that changes her. So like her costumes really like change from beginning to like the episode that is nominated, which is the penultimate episode, I think.
I think
Um,
so. Yeah.
yeah, but that red guy, I read an interview with Helen where it was like signifying like blood, like because there's that like
Oh,
sort of train like scarf thing that is like a trail of blood because she's like walking and kind of like
oh,
pacing in this room and it's like flowing behind her. Yeah. Helen is she's very good. Um, I don't I just like have this feeling it could be adolescence because they're gonna surprise us, and that show is like just like so
I
like
thought about that too, because Baby Reindeer was nominated in this category but did not get it. But
that's a
then,
good point. That is
yeah,
a
and
good
I feel
point.
like that's this year's Baby Reindeer. And then
Yeah.
last year also was True Detective, Fargo.
Mhm.
I didn't write down the last one, but those were the ones that I was like, oh,
Yeah.
like, those are some big ones that age is
Yeah.
delicate
Yeah.
beat. But no, you might be right too
I
though,
don't
because yeah,
maybe it's just me wanting like a quiet one to finally win.
right.
Well, that's
But
like,
I not but yeah, I think but the Penguin is like I feel like it also is a good choice for yeah, lots of reasons. Yeah.
this is a
So
really good category when you're talking about how the costumes can really catch the attention. Maybe not so much adolescents because it looks they do look like a lot of everyday people, but I mean there's a lot in this category that is about you kind of think it's one thing, but the more you learn about it, it makes so much more sense with the characters. Um which is really cool. I completely forgotten about how Michelle Williams' character like leaves all of her stuff at the not
Yeah.
the place where she is, and that's I love when characters have to sort of make do with what they have. I find that's really interesting what they find comfortable in themselves.
She wears that like big white shirt at one point too, when she's
Mm-hmm.
like stepping on men and stuff.
yeah.
The episode
Yeah,
too.
Yeah,
Or
I
is
think
that
that's the episode
together?
that's nominated. Yeah,
Yeah.
because
It's
there, I
just
guess there aren't
yeah.
as. I feel like there maybe are only two episodes. Like if you want something a little more like overtly costume-y, it would be that one or the prom dresses later. So this is
mm,
like a good episode, I think, to pick because
Yeah.
it had like a bit more, like some variation, I
Right.
guess.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah, I was thinking about her New Year's Eve dress. Like that was you that what you were
yeah,
saying?
yeah, the 80s prom
New Year's
dresses.
Eve. Yeah, yeah. I was thinking about
yeah.
that too. Yeah.
But also like we don't like there are submitted episodes and the artists will talk about especially for phase two like that specific episode. But I mean with it's sort of like how people do people have comfort clothes, like stuff sticks out in other people's minds, like the
Right.
prom dresses, like Sirens is not in the submitted episode, but the dress that Millie's character wears when she's sort of becoming Julianne Moore's character, like that's a really big
Yeah.
statement piece. So who knows what'll stick out in people's minds, maybe.
Yeah,
Um,
that's a very good point. Yeah.
um,
Right.
unless it's something like American Horror Stories, where every episode is delineated to another story. I might go with the Penguin then. I think you guys convinced me. No, actually, I'm gonna go Sirens. That's my wishful thinking. I want Caroline Duncan to win that.
I think, I mean, those, her
Yeah.
costumes had, there's a lot of symbolism and, yeah, and
Mm.
detail in there too. I mean, as all of them. So, yeah, but yeah.
She's doing a
Um,
lot of interviews too. I feel like she's really working. She's really working it.
yeah.
Okay. Um, interesting. Three first-time nominees in that category, which is fun. Melissa Toth was nominated for Fosse Verdon, so she's dressed Michelle
Yeah.
Williams before, which is really cool that she did a contemporary show nominated here and also a period show with Michelle Williams.
Yeah.
Okay, so the final category that we're going to talk about today is outstanding contemporary costumes for a series. The nominees are Emily in Paris by Marilyn Fitoussi, Acts by Kathleen Felix Hager, The Righteous Gemstones, Christina Flannery, The Studio, Cameron Lennox, and The White Lotus, Alex Bovard. Now, actually, I have to ask, Fawnia, is your top specifically referencing The White Lotus
It was,
or
yes, because I
dress?
wanted to dress
Yeah,
on
Yeah.
theme and I was like rushing and I looked in my closet
looks
and I
great.
just did a quick scan and I was like, oh, that's totally, yes, White Lotus, done.
I love it.
So yeah. It's not showing favoritism. It's just like the one thing I could put on sequins or something, and it's also comfortable. So anyway, yes.
I do think you're onto something though, because that's like I think the White Lotus is um well not that we're I mean I guess we're talking about who we think I think the White Lotus is the one to win because I was thinking about even though this category is kind of, there's a lot that any of them I feel like could win, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I feel like I was thinking of like the performances of like that they go to see and stuff,
Mhm.
and just thinking how like the vast number of characters who like, and just like maybe the people who work there. There's just a lot going on, and you get a lot of like very like from Girls Weekend to like the iconic, what, the Duke sweatshirt, is that what it was? Like,
Oh yeah, yeah, the
yeah,
TikTok.
like
Yeah.
there's just a lot going on. So I felt like it's the White Lotus, but then I also feel like my spoiler is the studio, because I feel like I also love the costumes on that show, especially Chase Sue Wonders, like everything
Her
she
costumes are
wears.
Those are,
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
those
everything she
as a
wears.
fashion, yeah, in terms of personal fashion, favorite for sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I think will be the studio just because Hollywood loves spoofing itself. And
yeah,
I mean, I think this category is so stacked. Like
yeah,
everyone in this category, like all of those costumes are just so, yeah, it's just the most stacked category, I think. And also just in terms of like shows that people watch and everything,
yeah,
Hollywood does love to celebrate itself.
Mhm.
So that's just the way makes me think the studio. And they like love all those actors and yeah, like so I feel like that's
I
yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised Emily in Paris hasn't won here before.
I know. I
it's nominated like every year, isn't it? Like,
feel like there is this like bias against like
I think so
lady
too.
fashion shows, you know?
Yeah. Well,
Um,
because so many people hate the character of Emily, but they love what she wears. Like,
I think Marilyn is so creative because it's not how anyone in Paris dresses. It's not how
right,
Parisians dress. It is a
right.
complete fantasy, and she says it
Yes,
Yeah.
too. She's like,
yes,
and it's just so creative, and it just makes me like want to watch the show more because
right.
it's just like, yeah, I think because it is telling you so much about the character, and but it's just
Hmm.
like taking fashion, and it is just making it into something that you just actually never really seen, like how she puts it together. And also because it's so fashiony and they film a year out, people can't be like her characters can't be
Mm,
on trend or behind trend.
Right,
So she's
yeah.
like she's using high fashion and contemporary fashion and independent fashion designers to just like create something like super unique. But I feel like, yeah, just society just never gives like I don't know, it's the sexism in society. I think
Yeah.
it's like young, pretty ladies, and like you hear, oh, lots of fashion, and then you just don't take it seriously when what she's doing is actually very like smart and strategic. I don't know.
Yeah. I think if I could pick one from this, I would pick the Righteous Gemstones, because I think what
That
they
one.
do on that show is also pretty
Yeah.
incredible, with like their varied degrees of like going back in time, and um the costumes that are like, I feel like everything that Judy wears is like incredible. Judy Gemstone, I just love her. But yeah, I don't know. That would probably be my personal pick though.
Yeah, those costumes are spectacular too.
Yeah.
And like so many different, the characters are all so different.
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
all have their own, yeah, the way she expresses them through. I mean, this is a stacked category.
it's really
Yeah.
good.
Like,
Yeah.
and Kathleen Felix Hager is just phenomenal too, like what she does. But like her costumes are always like so chic and they suit the character so well. But then they're also so funny. Like they
Yeah.
totally land the joke. And I feel like that takes skill too. Um, but
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
So I don't know, it's tough. Like this song. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'd be very interested to. I haven't talked to Kathleen Felix Hager, but because Jean Smart's character finally gets on late night, I wonder. I was just like, what is Deborah Vance's like? How, like, she's on stage all the time, but now she's projecting herself to millions of people in their homes. Does that change how she dresses? I don't know. I think that's great. I think she's the only previous winner in this category, which is crazy.
Did you my favorite costume moment in that and in the nominated episode is when Jean is in the caftan and she's like drunk dancing on the roof and she's so hot. Like,
Yeah.
and that caftan is so, and the lighting, it's like the way they did the lighting and the wind, everything, the set and how she's dancing and how like sort of transparent the caftan is. I was like,
Hmm.
I could just watch this all day. Like it's just you can tell she's spiraling, but she looks amazing. Ava is like upset. And that, yeah,
Yeah.
I feel like that was an iconic costume moment.
In a different place, like the characters are. It's kind of nuts. I've never watched Righteous Gemstone, so I feel like I can't speak on it at all. Um, I love the work in the studio. Cameron Lennox is,
She's amazing.
oh,
Yeah.
she's so great. I think I wanted her to win for, she did the costumes for Pam and Tommy and all of that. It's just so great. What she does there. And all the characters are so unbelievably, individualized in that, like, just I don't know, I think that the thing that she told me when I interviewed her, she was just like, I wanted the costumes to reflect um they're all superheroes of this studio team, like they're sort of like the Avengers but for movie making, and that's one should reflect through the clothes, which I thought was a really cool perspective.
That's
But
interesting because I wonder if Catherine Hahn, she's gotten a lot of like,
That was
she
those costumes were
are
action.
insane.
Yeah,
absolutely perfect. So
yeah.
She said something like it was she was modeled after all the people that she watched on TRL when she was younger, and I thought that
I
was
love
so
that. And
cool.
I also love
that's so
that like
cute.
Catherine Hahn is like she dresses like she's 21 years old on the show. Like, but I love that like, I want to dress like Catherine Hahn. Like I love everything she like so I love that's a really interesting way to think about it that they're superheroes because they do each have distinct styles. Because like Chase Sue Wonders is like totally trying to be like taken seriously with her like almost
Yeah,
like
she's like dressed up to here.
yeah, a mix
Um,
of
I've heard
contemporary and old fashioned, I'd
like
say a
old
little bit.
Hollywood. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I love like what she did. Yeah, I love how individual each of them are. Like, and how Ike looks like, or I guess he was modeled after American Psycho, which makes me laugh so much.
yeah, I love that.
But like Chase, there's like a through line. Like, I've talked to Cameron like 3 times, I think. There's like a through line of like, it's like the dress for the job you want, right? So it's like
Hmm.
Chase, there's a, like her tones and that whole old school, like vintage
Yeah.
vibe is like Matt. And Matt has like the Y collars, the rusty colors, the 70s colors,
Hmm.
because it tracks to Patty, who's always in a lot of golds and like bronzes and golds. And then that tracks to Griffin, dime store Bob Evans, who also is like very 70 with the turtlenecks and also like a lot of like sort of brown, like 70s colors. So there's like a
Oh, that's
hierarchy, even
really
though they're all like
interesting.
different. Yeah. So I don't know. It's like I love that through line.
Yeah,
Ah, that's so
he wear
fascinating.
yeah, Seth Rogen wears so many like burnt orange and brown,
Yeah.
like
So cool.
turmeric
Yeah.
colors. And I thought before I talked to her, Cameron, I was just like, let me go through, and I read a couple interviews that she did specifically talking about his character. I was like, he doesn't always wear, like, he wears more colors than that, right? And then I was just like, no, he really doesn't. Like, he's very set. It's surprising. And she was just like, but also think about the fabrics that he wears. Like, it's a lot of linen. It's a lot of, that man wants to be comfortable. He lives a very cushy life. Like, she told me something like, you don't see his feet very often, but you know what kind of shoes that he wears. Like, he wears like soft soled shoes, where somebody like Ike's character would wear something maybe a little pointier, harder, and definitely softer than Catherine Hahn's character, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and the Golden Globes episode, my God, there's so much in there.
Oh my God, I
Um,
know. Oh, Catherine's like, yeah. I
oh,
think
that
Catherine's
gold,
yeah, it's
a
just
vision.
so many like Easter egg, like cinematic Easter eggs and like every single person and costume too. Like throwing back to look like I was talking to her about yeah, the penultimate episode, the one that's entered. And like Chase's like she wears it's a monochrome white shirt with a white tie. And that speaks to like or Robert De Niro in Casino, directed by Martin Scorsese, who is in like who was nominated for an Emmy for like being a guest star. There are other Scorsese like references too in the costume, and I can't remember the other one. But yeah, I was like, oh my God, it's like too many layers of Easter eggs. Like
yeah,
and like
it's
meta
like
references.
a whole basket.
I know. I was like, oh my God.
It's great.
You're probably right that it's the studio. You're probably right. You both have kind of convinced me.
Well, I think that I'm a little surprised that the White Lotus has never won costumes.
Yeah, me too.
Because it's always big ensembles, very distinct personalities. And I do think that always translates to the clothes.
Yeah, super prestigious. Like
oh yeah.
TV. Yeah, that surprises me. I was hoping she would get it for True Detective because again, I want like a quiet costume show to somehow win, like sneak through somehow. But yeah, that's surprise. And this season though, I feel like is like the sort of big because like she's said it in so many interviews, like it's loud luxury, it's not quiet luxury. So I feel like it is costuming in the way that voters do, like, you know, too. But I don't know if the studio, I just feel like just because it's like, you know, Hollywood celebrating Hollywood, it might be, I don't know.
I think you're on to something. That's
a really good point.
Yeah.
And I bet you if they're talking about people that they know and they want to pat the industry on the back, they probably watch that show and think, oh, that person dresses like this person. That guy dresses like my agent. This person like you know, it's Cameron Lennox probably nailed so many people that people know on the show with the costume design.
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised with that one. I think I'm gonna predict that with maybe Kathleen Felix Hager has won before for Hacks, so I would say Hacks is in second. Maybe I'm gonna say the studio.
Oh.
I'm with
anyway,
you guys.
We're all at the studio then? Okay.
Yeah.
There is a show. What did I think? We were talking about stuff that we wish was nominated.
Oh my God, I have like a whole list, but
I know. It's like Interview with the Vampire is such a great one.
Contemporary, there's so many that I feel like, but
nobody wants this should have been in here more.
I thought that might have been in there too, because people loved it.
Yeah.
I was surprised only Murders also because they get nominated every year. But like in terms of ones that, I was like, well, maybe, but probably not. Like Slow Horses, would love to see that in there someday because it takes a lot to make Gary Oldman look so dirty. What else did I have? Oh, Elsbeth. I feel like Dan deserves like so much, but they never get in that. The Bear too.
I was mad that The Residence. I thought The Residence should have gotten in.
Oh yeah, yes, that's a good one.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah,
or even like your Friends and Neighbors. I'm sorry, what?
Oh yeah, that one. Or I thought maybe Severance, just because it was also just such a beloved.
Yeah, that's actually kind of surprising too.
Show. But
Kelly's dresses and all those.
Yeah, and just like the office wear, like just differentiating office wear is like also just the show itself is so beloved.
Yeah, and it has such an iconic look, and that has to do with the costumes too. It's not just the production design and the acting, it's like the whole package together. That's a good call.
Yeah, Running Point too. I like that one.
Oh,
Running Point, yeah.
I'm almost done with that season. I'm savoring that show, and the costumes are so good. Do you
love Jay Ellis as much as I love Jay Ellis?
Oh, he's so hot.
He's so hot. He's so hot. I just love him.
Oh my God, I love it. I saw his Duke and Roya, his play that he did off Broadway. It just closed.
And I thought I saw you post something about that. Yeah,
I did. And I bought tickets, and I swear I bought front row, and somehow I didn't. It's a picture, like you click on it. I don't know how I got second. When I got there, I was like, wait, what? And then he does jump down, like, and he's just like because he plays a rapper, right? I was so mad. I was like, I mean, second, I'm still close, but I was like, he could have been right in front of me. Yeah, if it ever comes back, you should definitely go see him. Or if it goes to
Yeah.
Broadway, see it.
Jay.
It
I
was
love
really
it.
good. Yeah.
Even if he was such a fuckboy on Insecure, and I was like, "What's the deal, Lawrence?" And then by the end of it, I was like, "I
Yeah.
get it."
I know. I
I was so
know.
mad at him throughout the whole show. Like, and then I'm like, "You have to get back together with him."
I know. Because he was such a fuckboy. And then
Yeah.
I remember I was watching some interview. This is totally off topic. And then Issa was saying, we just had to bring him, we had to bring
Yeah.
Lawrence back for then, like he had to come back. And then I watched some behind the scenes thing. I was like, oh, you missed Jay. Like
Yeah,
it was like,
right. Yeah.
because he makes
So
Lawrence
cute.
too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
yes, obsessed.
Yeah. I know, I'm surprised actually Running Point didn't show up a lot more, period. I know that like people were predicting like Kate Hudson and
She was so
um
good.
she was everywhere too. And and
Like,
it's a popular show. It's like Mindy
yeah,
Kaling, is like a producer on it. And
definitely,
uh,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
I was surprised. And I watched it like and who is also really good on it. Um, and I just like binged it, and I was like, this is like easy to watch and kind of fun. I don't know basketball; it doesn't really mean
Yeah.
anything to me, but yeah, it was fun to watch. Yeah,
Yeah, and
I
her
know.
comedy is so skillful. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I feel like she deserved a nom too.
yeah,
She'll pop up at the Golden Globes. She
yeah.
will.
You're probably right. Yeah,
Hopefully, yeah.
Um,
yeah,
I think it is very interesting just looking at the contemporary for a series ballot that I know the costumes have changed in this show. I understand that. But the fact that The Handmaid's Tale is now in contemporary when it was nominated for so many years as a sci-fi fantasy
Yeah,
show is
I
a
know.
little,
that's dystopian. That's scary. Why?
yeah.
Why did they
Oh,
do
because
And
we
that?
I
live in the
know,
Handmaid's Tale.
yeah, it
Oh
was
my
like, it's
God,
a little fucked. Um,
that is really. Ugh.
Yeah, that disturbs me a great deal.
Yeah, me too.
is there any other costume you want to give a shout out to? Anything that you would like to? We're still in the voting period. It started on
Yeah.
Monday. We're only day 3. It's going to last for another whole week. So,
Oh,
Fawnia, is there anything that you would like to shout out or tell directly to any voters that might be listening?
just watch everything. Watch everything. Like, vote, vote in a knowledgeable way, I think. And then next year, maybe recognize some of the quieter costumes. I'd love to, that's what I
Yeah,
like. And also two period categories, please. Okay.
this is our plea. This is our very heartfelt plea.
Yeah. And figure out a way to get ghosts in there somewhere. Okay, that's fine.
I didn't know you liked ghosts.
I love ghosts.
That is like one of my absolute favorite shows on TV right now. It is a crime to me that it has not been nominated for anything.
Anything, I know.
Not like random picture editing for something or
Right.
nothing. It's literally nothing. It's one of the best shows on TV.
Yeah. Writing, acting. Yeah. Would love to see
Yeah.
it. Yep.
I need Rebecca Wasaki to get an Emmy nomination for playing Hetty. Love her so much.
Great. I want Trevor and I forget their portmanteau, but yeah.
Yeah. Hats off to him for not wearing pants the whole time. Megan, I'll catch you up. Megan,
Some of it. It's a cute show. I like it.
on to you. Anything you would like to tell any voters?
I second everything Fawnia said. Watch things. And don't forget and just like that next year.
I like that show.
Just like that.
Carrie's mushroom hat in the first episode.
Can I please tell you that when I was watching, I started that season late and I didn't realize Jason was in the room doing work and I didn't know that he looked up and all I heard was him saying, "What the fuck is on her head?" I was like, it's fashion. Shut up.
Toadstool from like Mario Kart. She looks like
I did.
I loved it though. I'd wear it. Like I loved it.
And everything was like her. Most of what she wore this season referenced like the time period of the woman. So like the hat did
Oh,
too.
you're right. Yeah,
There was
it's
like all the
true.
basque waist and everything, like the bustle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I thought that was I like that.
Yeah.
You know, I love the little
Hmm.
references like that. It's crazy.
Yeah.
You know, it's not just fashion, but yeah. But
Just
you
like
know,
that, nominee next year.
you know.
Let's manifest it.
Oh, and next year also An Interview with the Vampire, which is set in the 80s. Lestat, Rockstar, that I better see that period costume nomination. Just telling you voters
Yeah.
now.
It's very slowly getting more attention. Like very like breadcrumbing, but with Emmy nominations. That's what it is.
Yeah.
All right. Fawnia, can you please before we do our outro, can you plug where people can find you?
Okay, so I freelance. You can find my work at The Hollywood Reporter, LW, and also my Substack, which celebrates Gen X pop culture with what's happening right now and a lot of costumes and just television and movies. It's hey whatever never mind .substack.com. And you can also find me on Instagram at Fawnia New York. Thanks for having me.
Right.
It's so great to talk to you both. I learned a lot and had a lot of fun.
I did too. I know the least, and I feel like the fact that I got to contribute something at some point, I was very excited about it.
You changed my mind. You changed my mind too.
Yeah. We need to just have you on anytime we talk about costume stuff. Like, we need to have you on more too. So we'll do that for this season.
This is fun.
Yeah. All right. So let's get the hell out of here. Please remember to subscribe to our podcast on your favorite podcast app. And do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This year's Primetime Emmy Awards are on Monday, September 15th. But the Creative Arts Emmys, where all of the categories that we just talked about will take place on September 6th and 7th, with category placement to be announced, I think. So we'll see you next time at the water cooler.
Yay. Bye. Thank you.